What's up, YouTube? It's Joel here. We've got your fourth stimulus check update, and things are looking even better for a fourth stimulus check through the new stimulus bills because of what's taking place today, which we'll get into the details in just a moment. And for those on SSI, SSDI, and Social Security, your benefits are looking to actually be raised even higher because of rising consumer prices. Also, to add, we've got Chuck Schumer, who is starting the reconciliation process to pass Biden's two huge trillion-dollar stimulus bills without the GOP. In last video, we talked about setting budgets at the end of the video, and I got the secret answer for you if things still don't look good for you after you set your budget. So this is your stimulus and economic news update, and I hope you're having a wonderful day. And if you don't mind, could you do me a huge favor and destroy that like button for the YouTube algorithms? It helps the video out, it helps the channel out, and if you haven't already, please go ahead and smash that subscribe button to stay up to date on all stimulus and economic news that affects you. We're gonna keep growing the channel because our goal is 100,000 subs, and we can do it together. And please, if anyone asks you for personal info or to contact them on WhatsApp, it's not me, it's fake, so please don't do it. So for those on SSI, SSDI, and Social Security, in 2021, the Social Security beneficiaries received that measly 1.3% increase to their monthly checks. And everyone was not a big fan of that whatsoever. But we are at a point now where so many people are feeling the rising cost everywhere. From gasoline is actually up over 56% year over year. Groceries, like even bacon, is up 13%. Milk is up 7%. Fruits are up 9%. So you see where I'm going with this. These prices are rising, but for those on fixed income, their thing is not rising as much because you're talking about tens of percentages versus a 1.3%, and it's making it harder for them. So with this, now they are considering raising the cost of adjustment living raise for 2022 even higher for those on SSI, SSDI, and Social Security. Because at last they estimated the raise would be 5.3%, which totally blows last year's raise out the water. But now they are considering raising it even higher because you heard me, the cost of goods is rising exponentially. So in this chart, we even show that from 1975, the cost of living adjustment has slowly been declining on the amount that's been given out. And those Social Security recipients can feel it. Because if we look at even the cost of housing over time, you can see in this chart, there's a huge steep incline on the housing cost. So if one's going up and another one's going down, it's not looking so good for our friends on Social Security because they're on a fixed income. But then you look at the income that people are receiving, and you still see that they are still abiding by rules that were set in 1984. It's been a long time. It's time for some rule changes for them. And even though the consumer prices are rising, with what Biden has in store for the Social Security program, this should help out big time for those to have enough money to make it. Because Biden has also called for an expansion of Medicare by reducing the eligibility age to 60 to allow for more of our seniors to be able to get the health care that they need at the right price that doesn't break the bank or take away all the new funds that they've been allocated. And he said he would fund this by adding that additional tax of 3.8% to those making over $400,000 a year. And on top of that, we have more money that's going to be going to the disabled and elderly Americans that we will talk about in a moment with the new stimulus bills. So let me know what you think of what's going on, and is it enough? Where should it be at? Because a lot of you are going through this, you're living through this. So let me know in the comments section what you're thinking, because honestly, I've been thinking about starting one of our own petitions for True Life investors, because there's one that started it to get 4 stimulus checks. It's over 2 million signatures now, and I think that we need to make sure we take care of our seniors. So let me know what you think down in the comments. So the Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer has had a meeting with 11 Democrat members of the Senate Budget Committee to get Biden's 2 huge trillion-dollar economic bills, One is 2.3 trillion, which is the American Jobs Plan, and the other is the 1.8 trillion, which is the American Families Plan. And I don't know if you understand how big a trillion is, because when I look at the numbers, it's huge. You're talking about, you got $1 million, and then you got $1 billion. $1 billion is 1,000 million dollars. And then $1 trillion is 1,000 billion dollars. And we're talking about, these are close to 2 trillion a piece. So we're talking about a lot of money. But Chuck Schumer is not wasting any time with the bipartisan lawmakers who are trying to come up with a compromise on these new stimulus bills, because they're all literally half of what Biden is wanting. He's been getting things together to actually push this through, because remember, we have one date that Nancy Pelosi gave us, and that is to get a bill on the floor by July 4th for the House to vote on. And I'm thinking that she, in the back of her mind, was thinking this whole time, Chuck Schumer is going to go budget reconciliation, because these bipartisan bills are not cutting it. They're half of what Biden wants to do, and they're not going to have enough of what the Democrats want to do, because there's not enough money. So they want to make the biggest impact that they can, and this is how they're going to do it, through Chuck Schumer's budget reconciliation process. So these two bills that were brought forth in April, they would expand the government-funded Social Security safety net big time, and would put huge investments in the nation's roads, their bridges, as well as transit systems, green energy, veterans hospitals, awesome, and care for disabled and elderly Americans. So super for that, because hey, if you got these trillions of dollars, why don't we go and take care of our seniors? This here would be huge for them, because it's going to hit them where it matters the most, concerning their health care and housing, which is two of the biggest expenses in their life. Biden has it in his American Families Plan to bring more funds to those programs to make it cheaper and more affordable for everyone. And I mean, we're talking some big $1 billion for them. We even got Senator Bernie Sanders, who said if they come up with the bipartisan bill, he's not going to vote for it. He said the bottom line is that there are needs facing this country. Now is the time to address those needs, and it has to be paid for in a progressive way, given the fact that we have massive income, wealth inequality in America. The homeboy's basically saying, we're going to make the rich pay to get a lot of stuff done. With Chuck Schumer going through the budget reconciliation process, this would allow for what everyone is wanting to be included, and that is that fourth stimulus check, because they have enough money to pay for it and to send out those checks to Americans, which leads us into our next segment, which is the fourth stimulus check. So now we've been talking about this, about going to automatic stimulus checks, because for hard times, whenever they hit, they don't give us notice, they just hit. Because I think we can all agree that waiting on Congress to pass a bill, going back and forth between the Republicans and the Democrats, sucks. So something better has to come along, and it's called automatic stimulus checks. And now we have more people who are actually pushing this actual idea from Congress, because if the economy is doing great, then overall we don't need stimulus checks, because everyone is moving forward together. But when hard times hit, just like they did last year, they literally shut down the country. I literally can't believe that I would ever say those words. They shut down the United States of America, and this is something that nobody saw coming. And so the House Ways and Means Committee is now pushing for automatic stabilizers tied to the unemployment rate. So if a certain percentage of Americans were unemployed, then those sweet stimulus checks would automatically be sent to Americans into their bank accounts. We're talking $2,000 per adult and $1,000 per child up to 3 children. This to me is the best idea ever, because we know that stimulus checks work. They do so much good for people to help them get ahead, to pay their bills, because everyone knows bills come every month. Not every time the political parties can actually agree to a stimulus bill, which we know that sometimes doesn't happen for a while. And with this first started with an outside group coming in, telling Biden about this idea for automatic stimulus checks. But now we actually have a committee in Congress who is asking for Biden to put this into his huge $1 trillion plans that we've already been talking about. So let me know your thoughts, because to me, regardless of who you vote for, when people need help, they need help. And this removes parties and focuses on people, not parties, not bills, not who can be seen on TV or who gets the credit. No, it's for the American people. So let me know your thoughts down in the comment section where you stand. But last video, we talked about setting budgets, and I hope you did that. I mean, businesses set budgets. Smart people set budgets because it structures their money and it gives them a game plan. If you don't know what's going on with your money, then you're not gonna have any. When people go to play sports professionally, whether it's football, basketball, baseball, they got a game plan to win. And that's what I want you to do, is win with your finances. So if you did the budget and it still doesn't look good, then what you got is an income problem. So in order to fix an income problem, you've got some options. You can say, can I make more money where I'm at in my current job? Or do I need to get a side hustle? Or do I need to find a new job? Or lastly, you think, do I need to learn a new skill to make more money? Because skills makes money. People are willing to pay people that got skills, whether it's in finance, whether it's in construction, whether it's in manufacturing, whether it's in sales. When you can build skills for yourself, then people want that. So let me know where you fall at in the comment section, and we'll go from there on what people say, because I want to dig deeper into this and help you out reach financial freedom. But also, I feel that everyone needs to have their money making money for them and working for them. And how do you do that? By investing. You can get 2 free stocks with Webull to start out, worth up to $1,850, and go ahead and sign up with Robinhood, because they give you 2 free stocks as well, worth up to $500. It's free money. It gets you going into investing to start building wealth. Those links are down in the description. Let me know what free stocks you get, or if you have any questions. I personally invest into Dogecoin and also the S&P 500, because to me, putting in my money into the S&P 500, which has had an annual return of over 13%, I'm putting my money into 500 companies that do really well. So my money is more secure, but I'm making some pretty good money, and I want you to do the same, and I want you to reach some financial freedom. So let me know what you think, but don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and hit that notification bell to stay up to date on all stimulus and economic news that affects you, and learn how to build some wealth. This is Joel with True Life Investing. Until next time, peace out.